Coming up on AgweekTV, the Summit Carbon Solutions pipeline may hit a roadblock in South Dakota. A new type of diesel is entering the market. We'll find out what it could mean for the ag industry.
Our AgWeek Cereals Crop Tour kicks off with a look at crops in central North Dakota and southeastern Minnesota.
And a North Dakota farm offers a unique subscription service, raw milk. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. The Summit Carbon Solutions pipeline is gaining momentum in North Dakota and Iowa, but South Dakota voters may have the final say on whether it goes forward. Kennedy Tesh has more in this week's AgWeek cover story.
We're open for business, but we're not for sale.
Ed Fishbach is a fourth-generation farmer in east central South Dakota. His land is also right in the path of the proposed Summit Carbon Solutions pipeline.
Just diagonally, just cut it right through. And then again here, and this is where I live. And so I was pretty alarmed about that.
The pipeline would carry carbon from ethanol plants from Iowa to western North Dakota for underground storage. Fishbach says he owes it to future generations to stop it, so he's playing a key role in organizing grassroots opposition to the pipeline. Voters will decide on its future in November. Fishbach says he's most upset about the threat that Summit will use eminent domain to take the land they need.
That just set everybody off, that you're going to allow a private, for-profit company to take our land so they could make more money. That just did not seem right. And so that's where the whole opposition started, and it's just snowballed from there. I mean, it's statewide now.
Fishbach says there are several other reasons to oppose the pipeline. He says the company will get billions of dollars in tax credits, and he says that should concern all taxpayers.
Besides the safety issue, besides the use of eminent domain, and now another issue is just coming to light here in the last 6 months. The amount of water that it's going to take, that each ethanol plant is going to need to cool the CO2 down enough so it'll flow through the pipeline.
Summit CEO Lee Blank says he understands their concerns. The company can't start building the pipeline until all permits are secured, so they are looking for an alternate route through South Dakota.
We want to accommodate landowners, counties, stakeholders throughout the state of South Dakota to the best of our ability. Ultimately, Kennedy will never make everyone happy with the route, but we are working really hard to find the most accommodating route that we can have and we can use.
In Millette, South Dakota, this is Kennedy Tesh for AgWeek.
You can read much more in the next AgWeek magazine and at agweek.com. A farm in southeast Minnesota grows an unusual crop, hazelnuts. Nine Hazels Farm at Lake City harvests about 100 pounds of hazelnuts each fall. Norm and Mary Erickson developed the farm and ran it for 20 years. They sold it to Paul and Santa Marit in 2019. The hazelnuts are a cross between the European and American species. The European nuts are the kind used in chocolate products. Most of the trees on the farm are aging out of production, so they're being trimmed back or coppiced to promote growth.
Hazelnuts are probably one of the most climate resilient and also ecosystem benefiting crops that are developing in the Midwest. They stay in the ground forever, and if coppiced appropriately, could potentially live forever, so you're not having to replant, and wildlife really love them as much as humans do.
In addition to fresh roasted nuts, the farm sells hazelnut oil and other products. You can find more information at 9hazelsfarm.com. The biodiesel industry began as a way to market soybean oil and create a sustainable fuel source. But as Ariana Schumacher explains, there's another popular form of diesel entering the market, renewable diesel.
This bus fleet serves all of Portland, Oregon, with the help of renewable diesel buses. Renewable diesel has a different chemical makeup than biodiesel.
The easiest way for me to explain how to make renewable diesel is if you have a petroleum refinery, but instead of putting in a fossil crude, feedstock in the front, you can put a renewable feedstock like a veg oil or a waste oil.
So while many people look to the future of electric vehicles, Wynn says that for many places in the Midwest, renewable diesel is going to be more realistic, at least for the near future.
So all of those factors play into it. So it's kind of a situation of, but what can you do now, cost effectively, that won't damage your engines and that but can still be used to lower pollution.
The increase in soybean crushing facilities will make a positive impact in the renewable fuel and biofuel industries.
The more that we can produce ourselves in a sustainable manner, in the ways that we know that our farmers already take care of the land, is a lot less risky and just a lot more sustainable.
Wind is hopeful that in the future we could see renewable fuels facilities in the Midwest. But to get there, she says it will take policies and incentives at all levels.
It's trying to find that right combination, that right comfort level for what the farmers, the ag community, the producers, and the fleets, what they're all comfortable with.
In Portland, Oregon, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
Wind estimates by the end of 2024, about 5 billion gallons of renewable diesel will be produced.
Coming up on AgweekTV, our AgWeek Cereals Crop Tour takes us to central North Dakota where record yields are possible.
Bring the family and have some fun at Minnesota Farm Fest, August 6th through the 8th. Visit with hundreds of ag exhibitors and learn about the latest ag technology. Plus, enjoy the music, food, and family fun. Hear from policymakers as they discuss the issues at the Farm Fest forums. Or catch the ride and drive events with Ziegler and Can-Am. Discover how much fun agriculture can be at Farm Fest, August 6th through the 8th in Redwood County. For tickets, visit farmfest.com. Farm, family, fun at Farm Fest.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Join Erickson Custom Operations in Severn Anderson for our 2024 annual crop tour at Anderson Farms near Drayton, ND, Wednesday, July 31st at 11 a.m. Learn about blending soil and plant nutrients with AquaYield and calcium products, and see firsthand what returning your soils back to health can do for your crops. Can't make it? Check out one of our other 2024 crop tours, July 29th in Perham, Minnesota, July 30th in Washburn, North Dakota, and August 1st in Davenport, North Dakota. Erickson Custom Operations 2024 crop tours. Join us in the field.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
The AgWeek Cereals Crop Tour is sponsored by National Wheat Foundation, Anthem Oats, Meridian Seeds, Erickson Custom Operations, AKE Safety Equipment, Advanced Grain Handling Systems, and LCS.
This week, we kick off our cereal crops tour with a look at what could be some record yields in areas. Jenny Schleck traveled to central North Dakota to take a closer look at the durum crop.
I'm in McCluskey, North Dakota with Emily Schlafman of Farmer's Choice. And last week, the USDA came out with some big projections for spring wheat and durum yield. We're in a durum field here in McCluskey. Will this live up to those projections?
I think after a really challenging spring, I think we have something to look forward to at harvest. So I think guys are excited.
So what has led to this, what's looking like a really massive crop this year?
I think that weather finally turning around and then having a strong start for moisture. We always really struggle with that. It's really hard. You try to get that crop in the mud and the rain, and then you really want it to turn around. And I think we just had a really good start. And then when that rain shuts off, it's challenging. You're going to hope and pray that you're going to get that rain later on. And I think the crop just had a lot to hang on to this year, and the rains really continued out even into the 4th of July here.
So I assume to reach those big yield goals that they've set for both durum and spring wheat, we're going to have to see some really good conditions for disease and pests as well. Have there been many problems in those areas?
Yeah, so that's been a really popular topic with growers in the area is should I spray for head blight? The conditions are definitely there. NDSU forecast had some high risk areas. It just involved a lot of scouting and watching those conditions and the weather every morning. Many acres were sprayed. A few of them were scouted a little more closely, and some other decisions made, especially with commodity prices. And
how long do you think it'll be till we get combines rolling in these fields? Obviously, we're still pretty green right here, but in the area, there are some starting to turn.
Yeah, so spring was all over the place, with seeding timing and switching back and forth with different crops. So I would say anywhere maybe from that second week in August start, and then on from there, just depending on when the seeding dates were.
In durum, there's spring wheat. You mentioned barley. Any other cereals in this Sheridan County area?
Mostly the spring wheat. Durum and barley would be a few oats here and there for forage crop. But
tell me about the head blight that you are seeing and other crop stress that this what looks like a really good crop is experiencing.
Yeah, so aside from conditions being likely for head blight, something else we've been doing some of is some tissue testing. So when you tissue sample, you pull the flag leaves off the plant, you send them into the lab, and what we're looking at is nitrogen. And then not just nitrogen, you look at the nitrate and the ammonium in that plant. And if you have a nitrate dominant, heavy, high nitrate plant, it's more susceptible to disease because it's going to be using more energy to convert that nitrate. So what we want to see is a plant that is more balanced in nitrate to ammonium. And that can also play into the decision of, am I going to spray for head blight? Do I want to throw in an amino when I make that pass and make just more informed decisions that way?
Thanks, Emily. In McCluskey, North Dakota, this is Jenny Schlecht for AgWeek.
Thanks, Jenny. Our tour now takes us to the University of Minnesota's Barley U Field Day at the St. Paul campus. The day gives scientists from the university's Department of Agronomy and Plant Genetics the chance to show off the latest developments in their barley breeding program. The program is led by Professor Kevin Smith. He says one focus is developing two-row barley for this region. It's the preference for the brewing industry. The program is also working on winter barley to introduce a fall-seeded crop to pair with a summer crop.
And that fits in with this idea of a double cropping system where you pair a winter annual with a summer annual. So winter barley followed by soybean. You keep continuous cover on the landscape and you provide income for two crops. So we're trying to see if we can make this more environmentally friendly agriculture profitable as well. And
in 2022, the university released MN Equinox, a 6-row winter barley that can be planted in either the spring or fall, giving farmers the ability to adapt their rotations to weather conditions. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll visit a farm that's specializing in raw dairy products.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
The simplicity, it's a complicated planter, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I liked it just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
Join Erickson Custom Operations in Severn Anderson for our 2024 annual crop tour at Anderson Farms near Drayton, ND, Wednesday, July 31st at 11 a.m. Learn about blending soil and plant nutrients with AgweEK and calcium products, and see firsthand what returning your soils back to health can do for your crops. Can't make it? Check out one of our other 2024 crop tours, July 29th in Perham, Minnesota, July 30th in Washburn, North Dakota, and August 1st in Davenport, North Dakota. Erickson Custom Operations 2024 crop tours. Join us in the field.
AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What does the rest of July have in store for us when it comes to weather? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Although I'm expecting no major changes in the general weather pattern over the next 2 weeks of North America, I am expecting some gradual shifts and changes. The hot weather will continue over the western United States. That continues to be an issue. A lot of drought, a lot of very hot temperatures throughout the Intermountain West, the Rocky Mountain region. That's not going anywhere. The stormy weather will continue down south. If it's not all tropical storms and hurricanes, it's just thunderstorms. But places from Texas across to Florida and up into the eastern seaboard will continue to be fairly stormy. One thing that is happening is we're starting to see a bit of a drier weather pattern taking place in the northern plains and maybe the western edge of the Great Lakes area. We'll show you what's going on with that. The weather pattern this week still featuring the predominant theme for the summer, which has been this ridge of high pressure over the western United States. And except for the higher elevations, a lot of hot temperatures in the 90s with scattered 100s throughout the western region. The jet then kind of weakens and splits. And this split, although it is fairly weak flow, it is where it bumps into that hot, humid weather of the south. We're seeing a fair amount of storminess coming out of this pattern. Going through the week ahead, not a lot of grand changes with that. The hot weather will build up into the high plains of western Canada. Jet stream coming out of the north will keep the hot temperatures well south of the Great Lakes area. So it'll be the southeast, the south, the high plains up into western Canada, and then the Intermountain West. There will be a brief intrusion of cooler weather, probably bring in some rain showers into the Pacific Northwest later this week. That will then eventually retreat and the heat will build up in that area. But for the first time in a while, we're starting to see the beginnings of the pre-fall cool summer weather setting up into Alaska and some parts of the northern edge of the Pacific Northwest. Going forward into next week, the second week of the forecast, it will remain fairly warm throughout the Great Plains, the southern states, and the west. No major changes there. Probably a little bit of an eastward progress of some of that hot weather, but none of it really changing shape or position all that much. Precipitation-wise, from western North Dakota through the California and the west, it's looking pretty much dry. The mountains and a few spots in the valleys of the southwest will get some monsoonal thunder showers, and there will be rain in Alaska and British Columbia. Scattered, mostly nighttime thunderstorms coming off the northwest flow will move into southern Canada, and a lot of the central and eastern Corn Belt and deep south will have areas of heavy thunderstorms. The second week, that shifts a little bit south. The west remains fairly dry. Thunderstorm activity in the northern plains and Great Lakes will be scattered and fairly limited.
Storage Pros and MnDAC Containers are your premier suppliers of shipping containers, servicing all of North Dakota and Minnesota. From 10 to 53 feet, new and used units, we have your storage solution. Pick up your unit or have it delivered. Call Mike or Jake today.
AgWeek's Summer Corn and Soybean Crop Tour kicks off in July 2024 and runs through September. Join us as we bring you an inside look at the crop conditions across the region with AgweekTV, AgWeek Magazine, online at agweek.com, and on social media. Contact your AgWeek rep or email ads@agweek.com for value-packed sponsorship opportunities today. And align your brand next to premier content on the AgWeek Corn and Soybean Crop Tour this summer.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
Bring the family and have some fun at Minnesota Farm Fest, August 6th through the 8th. Visit with hundreds of ag exhibitors and learn about the latest ag technology. Plus, enjoy the music, food, and family fun. Hear from policymakers as they discuss the issues at the Farm Fest forums, or catch the ride and drive events with Ziegler and Can-Am. Discover how much fun agriculture can be at Farm Fest, August 6th through the 8th in Redwood County. For tickets, visit farmfest.com. Farm, family, fun at Farm Fest.
You're invited to the 4th Annual Open Forum Meeting for AGWEEK and Calcine, Thursday, August 1st from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Holiday Inn in Fargo, North Dakota. Speakers include Warren Bell and Landon Bunderson from AGWEEK, Steve Stumbris from Purple Cow, and Tom Vanderheiden, Ag Consultant with Erickson Custom Operations. Refreshments will be served. We look forward to seeing you there.
Storage Pros and MnDAC Containers are your premier suppliers of shipping containers, servicing all of North Dakota and Minnesota. From 10 to 53 feet, new and used units, we have your storage solution. Pick up your unit or have it delivered. Call Mike or Jake today.
More and more people want to buy raw dairy products. I traveled to Clifford, North Dakota, where one young farming couple is helping to fill that gap.
I cut out all dairy, it all went away. Took care of it. So all I had was basically cheese for 10 years until we got our first cow. It was life-changing, because now we have, milk, butter, yogurt, cream, ice cream. It's all homemade.
Due to health issues, Seth Erickson stopped consuming dairy for a decade. But once he tried raw milk, that all changed. So he and his wife, Mickey, decided to get a cow of their own to milk. Seth is no stranger to the farm. He is a 5th-generation farmer and farms a variety of crops.
We bought one just for ourselves, and we started selling the extra milk. Well, it got to the point where we didn't have enough milk for ourselves to drink, so we got another cow, and it kind of took off from there.
Word spread quickly about the Ericksons, and soon they took on a new business model, monthly subscriptions to their products. Their subscribers are called herd members, and Erickson Farms currently has about 150 monthly herd members.
A lot of our customers were the same customers every single week. They weren't wanting to have to pay us every week. They were like, can we just set this up so it's just a regular thing every week? And that's how we decided to do herd memberships. So our herd memberships are a weekly guarantee of milk. So they choose a set amount. They get that same amount every week.
The Ericksons take extra precaution with their raw milk to ensure their customers' safety.
So we take our safety sanitation really seriously. We knew that if this is something we were going to turn into a business and offer to the public, we had to have our kind of protocols and operations set and ready to go.
But raw milk is not their only product. They also sell tallow, kombucha, and microgreens, along with raising chickens, turkeys, lambs, hogs, and of course, cattle. Seth says social media has really put a spotlight on raw milk as a viable alternative.
I think it's really started with a lot of influencers on YouTube, podcasts, Facebook, Instagram. Their children are really young and they have asthma, eczema, bad allergies, skin rashes, and they're trying to figure out, is that environment related or is it food related? And a lot of them are turning to raw milk to help with a lot of that.
The Ericksons currently have a wait list to become a herd member. Up next on AgweekTV, some high school students go to a unique summer camp.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Prairie Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Prairie offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Prairie Air Reel or Prairie Wind System today.
Anytime you have a viral challenge, you are going to see a drop in dry matter intake. Anytime the immune system kicks in, it takes a colossal amount of energy. If they're not eating, they're going to deal with the problem. Our objective with IntegraVix is to maintain appetite, if not increase it. And therefore, we have to have something that really draws the animals to come to the bunk. IntegraVix will do that.
IntegraVix you can find at your local supplier, distributor, or you can call us directly at Van Beek Natural Science.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
The simplicity, I mean, it's a complicated planter, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I like that just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work, but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
Some high school students are getting the chance to go to a diesel summer camp. Titan Machinery is hosting the camps to get students thinking about careers in ag. Ryan Tiffany, a talent acquisition specialist for Titan, says the school can get to promote their diesel program. The students get hands-on experience, and Titan gets to develop future talent.
It's agriculture and construction, so that's never going to go away. There's always going to be a need for it. Everybody's machine's going to break down at some point, and whether you're on the farm or in town here working construction, you're going to need to get that machine up and running as quickly as possible, because when their machine's down, you're not making any money.
Freshman Jacob Olson says besides learning about a future career, there's a lot to like about camp, and he plans to come back next year.
It's a lot of fun. The dorms are fun. The camp is very fun, and the activities are awesome. The food's good too.
About 30 students attended each of the 8 camps at tech schools around the country. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Minnesota Agriculture remembers the legacy of University of Minnesota professor Don Wise, who died earlier this month. And the USDA says processor data shows that the 2023 U.S. sugar beet crop was bigger than believed, and a big 2024 crop could be coming too. We appreciate you watching AgweekTV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.